Chief Minister, the vote went in your favour today, but the debate was hardly a resounding endorsement of your leadership. What are you taking away from today's debate?
Well, look, I know things are difficult. I recognise things are difficult for society in many different ways. I think, as many honourable members said, we've had a pretty tough 16 or so years ever since the 2008 financial crash. And a lot of people are suffering and have been suffering. It hasn't been magicked up over the last 2 or 3 years, but COVID has clearly had a compounding impact in terms of the position of the economy and real terms, wages and the tax burden and the pressures that have been put on public services. Look, I'd said today was for me about pausing and reflecting. I think there were some very positive, appropriate contributions that were made, and we need to take that away, reflect on those, and look at any adjustments in terms of the way we are doing things at the moment, and see whether there are genuinely some areas of focus that can be readjusted and reprioritised.
I mean, it was almost like a State of the Nation debate. Once members started to get on their feet and talking about things, it went off the subject of really whether they had confidence in you or not, and was talking about some of those issues. So are you going to reprioritise now what the priorities are for the Council of Ministers as a result of today's debate?
Well, I think what came through, and in many ways, I thankful for the contributions that were being made, because policies beat personalities, especially in a government in which we have to find consensus, in which the vast majority of political members stand on an independent ticket. And as I said during my contribution, I fully recognise that at times, to get progress, people have to forego some of their own political priorities and support that consensus direction. So it is about working together. It is about Council of Ministers who work together. I don't have the absolute say on everything. I'm not a Chief Minister in the sort of purest sense who has absolute responsibility for everything that goes on. All the ministers are equals in their own right. I am effectively the first amongst equals. So we do need to work together in so many different areas, and that doesn't just include council, that includes working with my colleagues. But at times there'll also be areas that we disagree on. And it's right that we have robust debate, but we need to be careful that we're not just promoting change for change's sake, recognising, of course, that it is difficult at the moment for a lot of people in a number of different areas, and there's a lot of policy that needs to be brought in to improve things.
So tomorrow's a new day. Is it back to business?
Absolutely. As I said, I'll reflect on what's been said. I'll reflect on that with the Council of Ministers. We're scheduled to bring forward an updated refocus to our island plan in January, and I think some of what's been said today may well be reflected in what we actually propose now as our sort of policy areas and areas for focus as we move forward into the sort of 4th year of this administration.